Um, and it's almost like I think being able to build an AI system in some ways is not only in terms of engineering; it's also in some way about creativity and I think art as well.
Sure.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
And knowing that you are, almost annoyingly good in both these terms, in terms of like digital art and music, how come your passion to start with for example digital art and you have you have a website, right, that you can.
Yeah, I mean, I've put up my music and my videos and that kind of thing, and I'm trying to work on something now. I think it's a lot of martial artists say this, that martial arts is the expression of their true self. Sort of, they don't have to say anything. They move, and I guess dancers feel the same way. Yeah. I think art is a way to expose your feelings without any pretense. It's a way of expressing your capabilities, your craft, and all that without a facade of rationalism on top. It's just you through the thing you're doing.
So that's actually connected to one of my definitions of art, which is basically work that you don't have any use for. And I guess you don't like it, but in some way it's not a pretense of you have to build something to use it for that. You actually do it for other reasons, and then you figure out what the use potentially is at a later point in time somehow, right?
Well, I mean, you can make something that's useful that's also a work of art. But I think when you are smithing a sword,
yeah.
The craftsmanship and all of your years of experience are the only thing that show in it. And that is the artisanship and the art in the thing. And it doesn't have to be put, your craftsmanship and your skills don't have to be put into something useful. You can put it into music that no one will ever hear, and it'll still be a piece of art, I suppose. And then somebody might be able to appreciate it. I do think, here's a question that I'm not sure about. Can you make a piece of art and then throw it away and nobody ever sees it? I'm not sure about that one. I think somebody has to see it, even if it's just yourself.
What do you mean? Is it not art? If I draw an art in the sand, and the waves wash it away, is it not art?
I don't think so. Because I think art is about community. It could be community with just yourself. I think of philosophy very much in the same way.
So but we all play guitar at home, or we paint at home. I guess we don't call ourselves artists, but isn't it art for your own good?
For sure. I mean, you can make a painting, hang it up, and then look at it. And then I guess you are both the creator and the audience. But I think it needs to both be produced and consumed.
Because
somehow.
you have the community, the definition of art you had before.
Yeah.
If you reiterate it, it's something we come together and define together as a community.
Sure.
As art.
Yeah. And you can be a very small community that consume your own art. And I think philosophy is very much the same way, because you can sit and meditate. And
do you meditate, by the way?
I don't know if I'd call it meditating, but
I do, by the way.
I think to myself. Yes. I guess maybe that's meditating. Yeah. And so if you just give monologues, that's not philosophy, and that's not meditating, right?
But okay, speaking about art being something defined by the community, would you welcome an AI into that community?
Yeah. Yes, I think so. I think people would say it's not art if an AI makes it. Or what if does an AI take away something if it's able to make music? I think AI can make better music than humans, and music that I would listen to. It wouldn't rob me of my enjoyment of writing guitar pieces or listening to guitar pieces. I don't really feel like it takes away anything.
What's your art all about? Could you explain a little bit about what you are doing as an artist? What you've been focused on as a digital artist?
I have a little bit of a magnum opus that I've been working on for way too long now. And
please elaborate.
As soon as I have a little bit of more time over, I'll be finishing it. But I have a book and a piece of music that I've been working on for many years. And the book is about philosophy, nihilism, and it has lyrics for the songs that are written in open and in verse, usually iambic pentameter, sort of like Shakespeare. And then the music is a little bit of everything, but I guess my favorite part is the prog metal and the jazz stuff.
So this is an opus that's been going on for a while now.
Yeah.
How long have you been working on it?
Probably 10 years.
So 10 years. And what was the original idea? What's the idea behind, what got you going and what's the idea here? When you finished? I mean, like that's ultimately.
I want to be finished like in a year.
So what's the definition of, so what's the goal? What's the definition of finished?
There's this thing in philosophy called the hermeneutic spiral, where you can only understand poetry if you already know a whole bunch about it. If you know it, and it came from the Bible. You can only understand the Bible if you understand Jewish culture, but Jewish culture is defined in terms of the Pentateuch and that kind of stuff. It's the same thing with poetry. You can only understand poetry if you really know everything about Shakespeare and these guys, but you can only really appreciate Shakespeare. So it's a bit of a circular definition. And I feel like it's a bit more of a spiral because every time you come back to the other side, you're not really where you started. You're a little bit higher up or something in your plane of understanding. And so I in the book, I want to do this little journey from, if you ask yourself questions like, what is mathematics? It starts with philosophy, then it goes to math, then physics, then biology and people, and then goes back to philosophy. So that you have like a nice little circle there.